Binge the full week of The Ray Taylor Show ad-free over at inspireddisorder.com/plus.
This is The Ray Taylor Show.
Swipe up 182. This is the show where I share my opinions on current events. Let's get into it, shall we? Starting off with this bit of news, entertainment news, movie news, TV show news. Bob Odenkirk will follow Better Call Saul with AMC dramedy Straight Man. So Better Call Saul Season 6, I think, has begun to release. Season 5 just hit Netflix, and I started watching that recently. Love that show. Arguably a better show than Breaking Bad, even though it is the prequel to Breaking Bad. I love the show. It's so much fun. Following Bob Odenkirk's character, Better Saul Goodman, which is not his original name. You see the origins of that name. But apparently, he's already ready to get into another movie or show called Straight Man. Let me read this. Better Call Saul and Nobody star Bob Odenkirk is set to star in a new series on AMC Networks called Straight Man. The series, based on a novel by Pulitzer Prize-winning author Richard Russo, will be directed by Peter Farrelly. That right there, that little piece of knowledge, the Farrelly brother, one of them being the director of, not a big fan. The Farrelly brothers used to be amazing. When they were doing comedies back in the 90s, but I would say progressively over the years have gotten worse, despite winning Best Picture for Green Book, which was a whatever movie. Shouldn't have gotten Best Picture, but that's the Oscars. That's kind of one of the things that the Oscars do. They give awards to people and things that I don't agree with. But that being said, the dramedy series will tell the story of William Henry Devereaux Jr., played by Odenkirk, a university English department chairman experiencing a midlife crisis. Quote-unquote Straight Man is set to premiere on AMC Plus and AMC sometime next year, 2023. So I am excited, I guess. I mean, I love Bob Odenkirk. He's amazing. He has been amazing in both Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul. Also, Nobody was a great, real fun action movie. I don't know. It's one of those movies that came out during the pandemic that just didn't get a lot of shine. It's currently on HBO Max, and just a great kind of a everyday, everyman kind of mixed with a little bit of John Wick, kind of, but Bob Odenkirk instead of Keanu Reeves. So big, excited for that. Not really excited for the fact, although TV directors, I don't think necessarily have the same control over the product as movie directors, I believe, because generally TV shows will have a kind of a set aesthetic and vibe and tone. You don't really get, like, it's kind of hard to tell who's directing what episode of TV, and there's a lot of directors usually. So I don't know, but considering Bob Odenkirk is part of it, we'll see. I think maybe his mentality, his vibe mixed with Peter Farrelly will make it work. Probably the writing will be better. I would imagine Odenkirk would be able to have some input. So mildly excited, I guess. I mean, it's cool that he has another project lined up. Not surprising. So we'll see. I mean, it's cool. I'm actually more excited just to see the end of Better Call Saul. When however that happens, still going through season 5. I don't know how long it will take season 6 to get on Netflix. I think they're releasing the final season in 2 parts, which is kind of a current, like they're doing a similar thing with Ozark on Netflix, where they're doing the final season in 2 parts. So It might be a while before that series ends in general, but it's cool. I'm excited for Bob Odenkirk. Congratulations. And now a quick word from our sponsor. Now you can wear the many faces. Original art by Ray Taylor. Select pieces from the ongoing series of abstract ink paintings. All products made with high quality materials, made right here in the USA. Go to inspireddisorder.com/TMF merch to browse the entire collection and save yourself an extra 10% when you check out by using coupon code RTSTMF. So once again, go to inspireddisorder.com/TMF merch and save 10% when you use coupon code RTSTMF. And now, back to our show. But let's move on. Some more congratulations to the first female Black African-American justice, part of the Supreme Court, Judge Ketanji Brown Jackson. Oh my God. Ketanji Brown Jackson, KBJ, will be the first black woman in U.S. history to serve on the U.S. Supreme Court. She was confirmed by the Senate on Thursday. The vote was 53 to 47 racist Republicans. All Democrats supported Jackson's historic nomination, as did Republican members from Alaska Senator Lisa Murkowski, Maine Senator Susan Collins, and Utah Senator Mitch Romney. So that's good. It's nice that, like, despite the fact that there's a majority of the Democrats have the majority in everything, nothing seems to get done. But thankfully, at least this got done. You know, to make it so the Supreme Court isn't as heavily leaning towards the right as it currently is. It's just ridiculous. Every bit about American politics makes me angry and sad and nihilistic and hopeless and pessimistic. And at least this happened. At least, like, a smidgen, like the most qualified person by far to ever sit in the Supreme Court should have been a no-brainer. But the absolute blind racism of the Conservative Party, you know, I mean, it's hard to know what's going to happen these days because it doesn't feel like there's a Democrat in the presidency. It doesn't feel like we have the majority in the House and the Senate. It just, none of that feels like it. It feels like it's stupid. It's so like frustrating and infuriating, and really makes me want to not live in this country anymore. Like, even when everything should be like good, like we don't have the insane person in office anymore. Like, it should be like we should be getting there should be tons of progress happening, but there is very little to no progress happening in any form whatsoever. It is like so much performative bullshit that's going on. At least she got the job. So congratulations to her. KBJ, right? Take over for Ruth Bader Ginsburg, the initial judge. Like one judge known by initials, now a new judge known by initials. So hopefully, I'm not going to hold my breath. Everything's going to fall. It's just like it's so much like the movie Sunset Boulevard by Billy Wilder. There's a line in that he's describing this mansion on Sunset Boulevard that looks like it's falling apart in slow motion. That is what America is. We're in a country watching it slowly. We're watching it fall apart in slow motion. Like, it's been falling apart for generations, and we're really seeing the rubble these days. Not to mention with the climate and all that. So it's small victories, I guess. Let's move on, though. Let's move on to some other news. Elon Musk buys 9.2% of Twitter amid complaints about free speech. So, of course, the richest man on the planet has a problem with quote unquote free speech, contract issues with Twitter, so he ends up buying 9%. Now he's a board member. It's really crazy to see the Elon Musk simps just flood the internet with praise that he's going to make Twitter a better place. Like they're all wearing "Make Twitter Great Again" hats. Not really, but I wouldn't be surprised if that's, instead of the red MAGA hat, it's the blue "Make Twitter Great Again" hat. Not to say that Twitter was ever great. Twitter has always kind of just been Twitter. It really hasn't changed much. Aside from, like, booting a guy who tried to be America's first dictator, a guy who tried to overthrow an election, like that guy getting booted, I can understand. That makes complete sense. And I don't know. Now that Musk is part of that company, like, he's a guy who really only cares about money, and is able to sell his ideas of making money from a perspective of it being for the greater good. And I don't know. So far, the only thing I've seen a proposal on Twitter is Elon Musk saying the blue check mark should be something that people can pay for $3 a month, which, in my opinion, would lead to people stealing identities. For $3 a month, you could be a verified this name, which I think is crazy. Like, my Twitter handle is my name, and I can't get verified. But with that, like, I mean, I don't know. I'm not paying $3 a month for a blue check mark, that's for sure. But on the other hand, people whose name is their Twitter handle should be allowed to be verified. Like, the fact that my name, Ray Taylor, on Twitter isn't verified or not verifiable is mind-blowing. Mind-blowing. But I don't know. I don't like paying $3. This is Elon Musk seeing, like, okay, well, if we just charge them $3, multiply that by the millions upon millions of people, that's just instant revenue right there. Just thinking of money. How can we make more money? Because that's all he cares about. It's just to hoard as much money as possible and then pretend like he's doing good things. Like he pays taxes or anything like that. Like electric cars are, like he invented electric cars. Like, or that electric cars are not bad for the environment at all. I mean, definitely better than gas cars, but batteries for electric cars are still mined in places that are, like, using... It's just, like, there's no, like, guilt-free form of transportation unless you're going to ride a bicycle or maybe, like, a Harley Davidson. But anyway, Elon Musk, part of Twitter. Like, I've never... Like, it's weird how these things happen, and it's just like, I'm closer and closer to wanting to get rid of my Twitter, which I wouldn't necessarily get rid of it. Considering it's my name, I would probably sit on the name, maybe delete my tweets. That would be nice. If he... Like, fucking edit button. Even the edit button I get, not having an edit button on Twitter, because, like... Let's say there is an edit button on Twitter, and you put something out on Twitter, right? And it gets, say it's a popular tweet, right? I love brownies. Gets 100 retweets, right? If there was an edit button on that, then you could go and you can replace brownies with terrorism, right? You could say, change that statement to say, I love terrorism. And then now all the people that thought that they were supporting their love of brownies are now supporting their love of terrorism. Like, just the way Twitter works is, like, you can't... Like, having an edit button would change the context by which people would have commented or retweeted. Now, clearly, it would be nice if you could just fix a spelling error on the edit button, right? That would be nice. That would be, like, the actual positive use for it. But the negative use would be to, like, manipulate what people agree with or don't agree with in a very easy way by like editing the original statement afterwards. So I don't know. Elon Musk, it's insane that people are just just the biggest supporters of billionaires that wouldn't do anything to help save them if they were on fire. They wouldn't cross the street to piss on them to put the fire out. But they worship these rich people for what? Because they have money? Because they figured out a way to fuck the system? Because they started out with a bunch of money from their family? They treat them like they're like God worshiping these people just because they're billionaires. And it's disgusting. And it's just like standard culture. Because that's what they want. That's what the rich want. The rich want regular people to worship them as if they are better people. That way they can get away with not having responsibility for anything. But anyway, let's move on. Let's move past the Elon Musk stuff. Join Inspired Disorder Plus today. Head on over to inspireddisorder.com/plus to join. Membership includes members-only discounts and deals. You get access to the Ray Taylor Show completely ad-free, as well as bonus episodes. You get access to the complete live painting archive. You also get access to every single podcast ever produced by Inspired Disorder, hosted by Ray Taylor. You get access to Ray Taylor's personal blog, as well as the opportunity to ask me any questions. So if you want to start a podcast, you're into art, ask me anything. And so many more things are being added every day to Inspired Disorder Plus. So sign up today, become a member, head on over to inspireddisorder.com/plus and become an Inspired Disorder Plus member today. To some more entertainment news. Squid Game director Hwang Dong-hyuk is lining up his next project, Killing Old People Club. I mean, just the title of it is definitely, you could tell it's from the creator of Squid Game. Like, it feels very much on brand, as they would say. In addition to, let me read this post, in addition to working on a new season of Squid Game, potentially 2 seasons, it doesn't say that, but that was previously rumored, but he's working on the next season. Writer and director Hwang Dong-hyuk is now lining up a new feature film. That's cool. I would love to see a movie by this guy. Definitely interesting that he's working on 2 projects, but the movie seems like it's probably related, like, vibe-wise to Squid Game. Dong-hyuk's shared with the MIP TV that he's already within a 25-page. He's already written a 25-page treatment for the quote-unquote Killing of Old People Club, end quote, which has the working title of KO Club. He described the project as another controversial film and, quote-unquote, more violent than Squid Game, probably because it's just a lot of old people dying or beating each other up. So far, no release time has been announced. I would love it. I'm down for whatever that guy does. I loved Squid Game. I did an episode-by-episode breakdown of Season 1 of Squid Game, which you can go check out, which was very challenging for somebody like myself who is bad with names, let alone trying to pronounce Korean names. I did my best. I apologize for my mistakes, but an amazing show. Definitely leaves it open for Season 2, so I'm excited to see what happens with Season 2 of Squid Games, but even more excited to see what he does with just a feature film, because it's interesting ideas. I mean, Korean cinema in general is great. There is so much great movies from there that just over the past decade plus that has like come out and just so good. Such good stuff. different kind of finally like a different perspective, different styles, different voices, but still narratively some similar stuff. I mean, a lot of stuff dealing with poverty and debt, which is a very American thing that is also felt by a lot of South Koreans, being in massive amounts of debt. So yeah, I'm totally stoked to see what he comes up with next, whether it's with Squid Game or with feature films. Just visually a great style, storytelling, subject matter, very interesting. So I'm all for that. Yeah, so looking forward to what he does with the currently titled Killing Old People Club, or the KO Club. I mean, just the thoughts that come to mind reading the Killing Old People Club. It's the club where you go kill old people. There's probably a thing where it's like, oh, they're old, they're past their prime, this is how we dispose of the bodies and get out our anger or something. I'm all for it. Just whatever. It's the mess of ideas that are floating through my head when I read that title is enough for me to like get super excited to watch that, whatever it becomes. But let's do some shout outs and get out of here, shall we? Shout out to Slash Film. Shout out to Vice News. Shout out to Verge. And shout out, most importantly, shout out to you. New episodes of The Ray Taylor Show come out every single day. Subscribe on YouTube and everywhere our podcasts are found. Binge the full week over at inspireddisorder.com/plus. Buy Ray Taylor Show merch over at inspireddisorder.com. And follow the show on Instagram at Ray Taylor Show. Have a wonderful day, everybody. Peace out!
Today is the day where you wake up and you realize that everything that you've been dreaming about, everything that you've been wanting, every goal and wish and hope that you've ever had can become real. Dreams can come true. What you manifest in your mind, you can bring to reality.